They tell me you're a man with true grit.
What do you want, girl? Speak up at supper time.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to tonight's edition of True Grit. It's time to drop the hammer. I'm your host, Shane Davis, and former IMCA Modified National Champion, and my sidekick, Pat Moore. How you doing, Pat?
I'm doing great, buddy.
All right. How was your weekend?
Spent the week up at Knoxville for the Knoxville Nationals. It was a great program, as always. If you haven't been up there, highly encourage everybody to check it out. It's just an absolute unbelievable event. Standing room only. It was absolutely sold out. It sold out Friday night for Saturday's program. They actually sold out pit passes even.
Oh, my God. How do you do that?
It was absolutely no seat left in the house.
Sell me a pit pass, and I'll stand on something.
Oh, I know. I go down in the pits anyway, but yeah absolutely amazing show.
You know how it works. Well, hey, great weekend of racing. I'm going to tell you, Friday night, Davenport Speedway, great racing over there. A lot of passing going on, great track. Sunday at East Moline, good night of racing. And we had some special guests in town this weekend. And Wookie, we got a picture of that little kid on that go-kart that we put up there. How do you like that, man? Brexton Bush, Roddy Bush's son, rolls into town, goes out to the Viola Boys go-kart track, and isn't something we normally cover, Pat, but hey, they're racers too, and we want to give them a little props. Went out there and won his division out there at the Nationals they had. First time they've had the Nationals out there at Viola Boys, brand new racetrack. They're still getting things sorted out, but a beautiful facility, and it's nice somebody invested money in that. I think we got another picture, too. We had Brexton's dad had to fly in after qualifying, and there's Roddy Bush right there with Mom Samantha, and down there in Victory Lane.
That is outstanding. I've seen Brexton in Victory Lane at Millbridge, which is right outside of Mooresville, Charlotte, where most of the guys' shops are. So it's great to see him come in town and
Pretty
find
cool.
success.
Put it on him. And, it's nice that these Cup teams are letting some of their drivers, do a little traveling now, spend a little family time so they can get away from, the Cup craziness for a little bit each week.
Yep.
What do we got up next, Wook? There we go. And when they got done Saturday night out there at Viola Boys, flew out to Indiana, which is where Roddy Bush's wife is from. And did a little Cup racing down there. Had a road course set up down there.
Got to run the road course.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, so, man, what a life that young man's leading now. Old Brexton.
Oh, I hear
you're on the dirt tracks out in the middle of a cornfield in Illinois. And Sunday, you're down at the greatest track in the world.
Yep, running through the
Motor
infield.
Speedway.
Yeah. That place has an aura all of its own.
Yeah. So, hey, we'll talk about Davenport. Friday night, 120 cars in the pit area. They had the 16th annual Ronnie Whedon Memorial. And, Ronnie, a racing legend around here, had over 500 career feature wins himself. And, I had the pleasure of announcing the race that he broke number 500 in. But great race. Travis Denning picked up the win, started 10th, rolled her up to the front of the pack, and picked off the big win, put a nice feather in his cap in his racing career. Chris Zog from New Liberty, Iowa, started 13th. He got up to second. A lot of passing going on.
That is impressive.
Very racy track. Austin Bloom started 14th. He finished third. The real deal Joe Beal was fourth. And starting 21st was Mitchell Morris. He rolled home fifth place. So real racy track that night. And great show to watch at Ronnie Whedon Memorial. We're happy that J&J Camper Sales and Ron Pershey support that event financially every year. They added $100 to the top 10 spots.
Outstanding.
So great guy to have supporting racing. In the IMCA late model, Justin Kai picked off the win. Only led one lap. Caught Matt Ryan on the white flag, zipped by him, and there's the number 15K. Picked off the win not only at Davenport Friday night, rolls around up to Dubuque Sunday night, picks off the win too.
That's a pretty good weekend.
It is. Sport Mod, Tyler Soppy picked off the win, former IMCA Sport Mod National Champion, and then Nick Hicks and the Ghost picked off the Street Stock win. Sport Compact, it was Josh Riley in the number 86 with a win. So we'll roll on up to East Moline Speedway Sunday night. Gary Webb picked off win number 521. There you go, Wookie. We got a picture of Webb up there.
The ageless wonder.
It is, man. 72 years old and still winning features. And that guy started 7th. So he drove her up to the front of the pack
Wow.
and did a nice job.
Showing the young pups how it's done.
He is. IMCA Modifieds, Jeff Bone Larson rolled home second. Sport Mods was Nathan Bauensiefen. Street Stocks, Jesse Owen, the number 95, picked up the win. And that was his 6th win of the 2021 season. Sport Compact, Kyle Hawkins had the big win. And then Hobby Stock, Jerry Durbin made his return to racing and picked off the win up there at East Moline. So
No rust whatsoever.
hey, how do you like that? You take all those years off, and now you're back. Then, while we got a chance here, let's talk about what went on up at Knoxville, Iowa.
The biggest all eyes in the racing world, especially considering who won, were on Knoxville. Not to spoil it in case anybody hasn't seen, but Kyle Larson won his first ever Knoxville National Saturday night.
He's won everything else. Why not the Knoxville National?
I hear you. Well, and let's talk for a second about his last 2 weeks. So a week ago Sunday, he wins a NASCAR race on a road course, jumps in a plane, flies to Oskaloosa, Iowa, wins the front row challenge at Oskaloosa. He ran second in his qualifying night at Thursday at Knoxville, just barely, and then won the Knoxville Nationals on Saturday night.
Wow. I mean, how do you do that?
It's absolutely unbelievable. And then almost won. He should have won last night back on a road course at the IMS.
Fastest car all day long.
yeah. Oh,
Well,
yeah. He
last
had
fuel
their
stop, he had to pull in. He had about, I'm going to say 17 laps left to go. And, my God,
Absolutely amazing.
got back out, that restart. The car went a little high. I don't know if it pushed, running through that track dry. But, hey,
Yeah.
what do you end up with, third?
Yeah,
Third
he
place?
was third.
So
I
he's
tell you
podium.
what, not only is he an amazing talent, getting to spend just a little bit of time around him, not that I had one-on-one time, but he's actually a really genuine, nice, good guy, too.
Yeah.
Very approachable. It's one of the beautiful things about sprint car racing and late model racing is you get that exposure to people. And even though, and you have a talent like that, and he could be isolated and spending his time doing promotional stuff, but on his off day, he wants to get dirty and race sprint cars.
And Pat, every time he wins a race, his wife shotguns a beer.
Yeah, I tell you what,
That's the kind of woman you want to marry.
yeah, without a doubt, and she does it. She does it legit.
She
does
does.
it legit, and as much as he wins, I can't see that she doesn't have an alcohol problem because I mean, wow, she drinks more beer than I do.
It's like, honey, don't win tonight.
Yeah, I tell you what, and at Knoxville, Kyle Larson, and not that money's a big thing, but he brought home $176,000
Oh, my God.
for his win. And Donnie Schatz ran second, gave him everything that he could handle, just about nipped him at the line. Donnie won almost $90,000, $89,000 for second.
You know, is that
Brad
crazy?
Sweet, Brad Sweet got third. It was an absolutely amazing show. Absolutely amazing.
So, Pat,
show.
that had to be over $1 million purse up there
Oh
for
yeah,
Knoxville Nationals.
$1.1 million.
Is that crazy?
First time it's ever been over $1 million
right.
for the Knoxville Nationals purse. Rico Abreu won Friday night's program. Main sponsor is Rowdy Energy Drink. A lot of people don't realize that Rowdy Energy Drink is actually Kyle Busch. That's his company.
All right.
Rico won Friday night. Brian Brown held off Larson, won Thursday night's program after actually there was a huge crash and a fire on the first lap. Thursday night, David Gravel, who was one of the favorites to win, won Wednesday, was in contention to win before he had a motor let go, unfortunately.
Okay.
Had a giant
That tells
pile,
the story.
giant
I looked at
puddle
the
of
results,
oil.
and, man, seeing he was in the back of the pack, and I thought, how did he get in the back?
And
but now
he
you
was
just
coming.
explained it.
Yeah, and giant puddle of oil underneath the car, so that kind of is pretty self-explanatory right there, unfortunately.
Okay.
Switching over to late models, the 39th annual North-South 100 run last weekend in Union, Kentucky.
All right.
Brandon Overton took it to him, brought home the $50,000 top prize.
Wow.
Tim McCready second, Jonathan Davenport third, Jimmy Owens was right behind him. In dirt car racing, Friday night, Highland, Illinois, Brandon Shepard and Bobby Pearson. If you haven't seen this online, I guarantee you will not be disappointed if you look it up. It was a phenomenal race. Kind of a heavy track. Highland, Illinois looks a lot like East Moline, which we'll talk about in a minute. Phenomenal race. Bobby Pierce and Brandon Shepard. Brandon was in his own car. Battle back and forth. Shepard nipped him on Friday night. Saturday night, Bobby Pierce was the class of the field down at Peevely.
Wow.
High banked round, super fast. So that was late model racing, national late model racing. This week, the big boys are out in New York. They run Thursday night in New York. Friday at Williams Grove. It's always kind of a weird show.
Sure.
At Williams Grove it's a spooky track and a sprint car. I can't imagine trying to run that in a late model. They run there on Friday night, Hartford, Ohio, Saturday, and then Erie, Pennsylvania on Sunday before they head back here for a big program that all eyes are going to be on the stock car world, without a doubt, for a big event that we have coming right here to the Quad Cities.
Here we go, Wookie. What do we got going on in the Quad Cities coming up the next couple of weeks? There we go.
All right.
World of Outlaws Sports
That's right.
Buildings Late Models, Davenport Speedway. So we're going to have the World Outlaws rolling into town Thursday, Friday, Saturday, August 26th, 27th, 28th. Let me tell you, we got a live band over there every night that weekend. We're going to be running IMCA Modifieds, IMCA Sport Mods as the sport classes for the World Outlaws. We've got the Shed, that beautiful bar they built 2 years ago underneath the grandstand, second to none. We're going to have live band in the Shed all 3 nights. Now, we got a bags tournament on Saturday. It's going to start noon to 4.
Right.
We're going to have a car show. It's going to be out there in the front of the main grandstands. That's going to be noon to 4.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
Okay. We've got, a lot of ways we're going to take care of the drivers. We're going to have the drivers signing autographs for the kids out there.
Yep.
Just so many great things coming up those 3 days.
And almost every pit stall, if not pit stall, but camping spot is already taken, if I remember correctly. Right. So this is really turning into not just a race, but an event.
An event, yeah.
And I thought of that a lot when we were up at Knoxville this last week, and that's become an event.
Sure.
Granted, this is the 60th, but I can see this thing getting legs too. And not only will all of the big boys be there, but I wouldn't be surprised if some of the non-World of Outlaw travelers are in town too. So.
Pat and I'll be there.
Show. Yep.
Hey, coming up this weekend, August 21st, our friend Britt Montgomery Memorial. That's going to be up at Makokata. They're going to have the Haulin' with Hoker Super Late Models are going to roll into town. And Britt Montgomery, of course, second-generation driver. His dad, Dee Montgomery, drove for Bob Erickson Chevrolet, racing legend in the late model class. The good Lord called him home too early. He had cancer. And so they had 3 boys. There was Jan, the mother. There was Britt, Bart, and, okay, now you're going to shoot me. I know all 3 brothers, too. But anyway, Britt Montgomery Memorial will be there this weekend.
That's on Saturday, right?
Saturday
night.
And we're going to be up there checking it out.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we'll be making a little sound on the mics.
I'm looking forward to it.
So Brad Montgomery's the 3rd one.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll hear about that.
We're just starting out. Before I forget, I'll remind everybody a couple of times, please like and share. It helps us out more than you realize. If you like, share, hit the smash the share. Is it smash the like button or smash the share button?
Share it to your own page.
There you go.
Yeah, share it to your own page. If you got a favorite page you want to share it to, I share it to about 7 pages.
I do too.
We're on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, all that good stuff,
There you go.
Twitch. And so now it's time to introduce our guest. Tonight we got driver of the number 93, Open Wheel Modified, Matt Werner. Matt, how's it going tonight?
It's going real good. Thanks for having me.
All right, brother. We're glad you're on the show. I want to let you guys know we're going to give away some door prizes that are Matt's going to autograph later on in the evening. And so we'll have those questions coming up for you. All you got to do is put your answer in the message board. Now, whoever has the first correct answer on our message board, you know how the internet works, speeds, you got high-speed internet, your neighbor's got dial-up. It's by how we see it on our board.
That's right.
That we'll give away the prize.
What we see is the official
That's
count.
it.
There you go.
It's so anyway, if you want a prize, come on over here to Dunright Studios where we're at tonight, 1414 West Kimberly Road in Davenport, Iowa, and see the beautiful Misty, our receptionist, and you can pick up your prize. Now, we give you 1 week to pick it up. The following week, if you don't pick it up, which all of our prizes have been picked up now, it'll go back into our prize vault. So please, if you want to win a prize, make sure you live here in the Quad Cities. You can get here to pick up your prize.
Well, and I noticed that all I had to do last week was threaten to hang that banner in the race shop, and all of a sudden they came and picked it up.
Yeah,
it's funny how that
Come
works.
on. Hey, so let's get with it, Matt. You started racing in 2005. And what piqued your interest in dirt track racing?
I had an uncle that used to take me when I was just a little boy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I must have been 7, 8 years old probably.
Okay.
And and then I didn't go for a few years, and then I was actually big into going out to the drag strip and playing around out there. And
Good time.
yeah, I had a old Nova that I used to take out
Really?
there and beat on.
You still have it?
No, I don't still have it. And used to go out there and beat on that, and I didn't go to a dirt track race for many years. And then drove that through high school and going out there and blew the transmission up on it and parked it at my brother's house, and it sat there, and he said, hey, let's pull the engine and the 9-inch out of that thing, and let's build a dirt car.
Man,
that was in 2002.
Okay. That was a cruiser then.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I remember
That was a cruiser car. We run it with the street stocks too.
Okay.
Because otherwise, the only place we could race was bluegrass.
Oh, there you go.
But
I
so
remember
that was thinking it was just going to be kind of a 1-year wonder thing, and
Here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
All these years later.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember you running, so you ran the street stock, and then you ended up going with the open wheel modified. And that first open wheel modified, Matt, was that your car?
It was.
Okay.
Yeah, 2011 was my first modified. It was a Stealth brand, actually.
Yeah.
Now,
what do you think about the stealth cars?
Well, I didn't know anything about a modified then, so it was kind of.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was fast.
I was. I mean, I won my second night in a modified, so I was like,
Right. Got to be good.
Nothing to this.
That's right.
Boy, it's just gotten tougher and tougher, I think.
It has. I remember stealth cars. They were built, up in Centralia, Iowa. Mike Whiteman was the owner of Stealth. Bob Dominacki drove a Stealth for a lot of years. Jeff Morris drove one. And I got to tell you, back in the day, I mean, Morris in the early 2000s, he's cranking off 24, 25 feature wins a year. And back in the day, I was doing his website, and I did a lot of websites. And, those were great cars. And, the nice thing about them was the way they were built, they were very, very safe.
Yeah.
I mean, they were probably a little heavier than the other cars that were out there, but, man, boy, if you got in a wreck, you didn't have to worry about,
I think they're a bunch heavier than what the cars are today. So.
Oh, my God, they were. I remember we were running the Hawkeye Dirt Tour, and I was traveling with Jeff Morris back then. And we went up, we won the feature up in Independence and rolled it on the scales. They told me to roll it off and roll it down, roll it off. Now my arms are getting sore. I'm like, dude, what is going on here? He said, well, the scale says it weighs 2650. And I said, that's because it weighs 2650. And he goes, well, go ahead and go. And he waved his on. But they couldn't believe that he won. And he had a car that was, a couple hundred pounds heavier than anybody else out there on the racetrack. So, hey, 2010, you're the street stock champion at Davenport Speedway and up at East Moline Speedway. That's tough to win 2 championships. How did you make that happen?
Yeah, that was a fun year. It was kind of one of them years. It's almost like you couldn't do any wrong.
Okay.
Just everything. I begged. I was real close to Mike Humphrey.
Yeah.
And I just begged him for.
Man, that guy.
Probably 3 years to build me a street stock. He didn't have the time, and he didn't really want to do it. But he's like, yeah, let's do it. So actually, Leroy was helping out there quite a bit then, and so Mike built that thing for me, and I think we raced 30 times that year.
Yeah.
Between the 2 tracks, and we won 16 features out of.
Holy cow!
Wow,
out of 30.
I mean, that's unbelievable.
That's impressive.
It was had a couple DNFs, couple wrecks, but we were really strong that year, and it was a lot of fun, and then I wish I'd have kept it.
Yeah.
But Mike says, oh, they're talking about getting rid of these, outlaw street stocks or going to IMCA stock cars.
Right.
He says you might want to get rid of it while you can.
Yeah.
So that was 2010, and here it is 10 years later, and they're still
running.
running. They're still running.
Yeah,
They're still going to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Man, all
But-
I know, I'd watch that car coming off turns, and you had a lot of forward drive in that car. That thing just stuck. And, of course, the good Lord called Mike home, but my God, that guy was as smart as they come when it comes to building and tuning up race cars.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was pretty amazing.
It was.
Very cool.
And if you got any questions for Matt, put them on the message board. We'll get them answered. If you want to know about his family life, racing career, or anything at all, see several of you guys posting on there right now. Please ask the questions, and we'll get them answered. So tell me about your car owner and your crew, the Myers and Mike Werner, and the whole the whole group of people you have working on that car and making it go fast?
Yeah, so 2012, I sold my modified in 2011, and I got a late model and had it in the garage and started working on it and tinkering around. I was going to take the year off 2011 to get married and all that good stuff. And so we weren't supposed to race, and the Meyer family, Casey, Kyle, and Linda. Casey come up to me and asked me to drive for him about halfway through 2012.
Sure.
And I kind of turned it down for a couple weeks.
Really?
I was just taking the year off. I had my late model, and I didn't really know him that well at the time. Just kind of getting to know the guys, and I pondered it for a couple weeks, and he's like, "Let's go." And I don't know. We ended up running. I don't know. We must have ran 30, 40 nights in the second half of the season. I was supposed to take the year off.
But man, I'm going to tell you what, that was a marriage made in heaven. Those people are willing to spend whatever it takes to put you in a car that's a rocket.
Yeah, they have gave me really good equipment since day one. They're never lacking anything. I have no excuses there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And it's kind of one of the things you think, we'll go run half season or whatever. At the time we had no idea. And this is our 10th season together. And
is that crazy?
And
things typically driver-owner relationships don't make it 10 years.
Yeah,
that's hard.
It really is.
They don't seem to, but we've became real close friends.
Good.
Over the years, so it goes far beyond race cars.
Beyond racing. Hey, what do we got? Don Fulcher says, what do you do on Sundays, Matt? You can tell us.
Yeah, Sundays we go up to Quad City Cartway every Sunday. Take the boy up there.
Hey, Wookie,
and,
how about that?
We got a picture of that go-kart.
We spend,
white number 93.
We get up there 11 o'clock in the morning every.
There we go.
Every Sunday morning, and we're there till 5, 6 o'clock. There's no rush. We're just kind of a family,
having a good time,
family outing, and the whole family's there and some friends, and it's a blast. We really enjoy it.
How old is Miles now?
He's 7 now.
You know what? He had his first win last year in that kart.
Yeah, well, he just started last year.
Yeah.
He started last year, and he really took off. He caught on pretty quick. Did a lot of talking.
Better look out, Dad.
Yeah.
He might be taking that right away from you.
Up and coming hot shoe right there.
There's the win.
That's his first. That's his first feature win. That was last year. Yeah.
Now, who do we have up there in that picture, Matt?
My wife's in the middle in the gray.
The one with the big smile.
Yep. And the little girl to the left of him. That's Riley Erickson. They're about best friends. They do a lot together.
Yeah.
And then you got Turtle.
Okay.
My brother. He's in the hat in the background.
Yep, I see him.
And then Bryce and a couple other kids that they all like to jump in the pictures.
Very cool.
Well, don't tell Turtle I thought it was your dad.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
We'll keep it a secret, right?
Oh, man.
It's a lot of fun though. I really enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
And he has a lot of passion for it, and he likes to work on it and help out. And
that's great.
Now I see Tyler Scher's up there. Is he still building engines for the go-karts?
He is.
He is.
Yep, he builds.
Now, does he build
too.
your motors?
He does.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
He's a great guy. I mean, his shop is just immaculate, spotless.
Ain't that crazy?
It's just,
like going in an operating room.
It is. It's pretty neat.
Very nice.
Well, and Hawk Bennett up there says Matt's one of the best and cleanest racers I've watched growing up, and that's one thing about it. I'd like to say there are a lot of them out there, but Matt, I'm going to compare you to John Bull or Doug Crampton. Man, when I see that 93 rolling the track, you race that thing all night long, and when you load it up on the trailer, it's not beat to death. It looks beautiful, and I mean, that's a testament. You're not out there trying to, drive over the top of people to get to the front of the pack. Yeah. You wait for your moment, make your move, and that's probably what's kept you in that ride for 10 years.
Yeah, that's the way I like to race.
Yeah.
I don't. Things happen.
Yeah.
You know that things happen on the track, but we do. I do my best to try and keep it straight, and You don't want to take a watered up mess home every night.
Not at all.
Right.
It's just too much work and time and money, and
Yeah,
it's
it is.
It
Today,
takes
my
it
God.
takes the fun out of it.
It really
Right.
does.
Right.
Hey, so Miles, how is he doing in go-karts this year?
He's doing real good. I don't know how many. He's got several wins this year. He's leading the points in the rookie division over there, and
Does he got more trophies than Dad this year?
oh yes,
Oh, my
by
God.
far, by far, by far.
Oh, I love that,
Yeah, he's
man.
doing good. And then here a few weeks ago, we moved him up to the next class up.
Okay.
Just he's actually running both classes, which is a lot of work for Dad.
All
to
right.
Keep the thing going all day long.
Yeah.
But it's more experience for him, and he wants to. He wants to be in the kart as much as he can. And
Very nice.
when we're done racing at the end of the day, he wants to jump back in and make practice laps.
Oh,
he
geez,
wants
isn't
to.
that something?
That's passion.
He
Good for
wants to
him.
get better. So,
And the nice thing about Don Fulcher putting his time in up there, I've known Don for a long time. And, it's a family affair up there. He gives you guys a place to go race your karts. And plus, you're going to have some of these drivers that are going to move up later on in life.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at some of the late model drivers of today, Brian Harris, used to run over there at Mount Joy back in the day because we didn't have the dirt track up at East Moline.
right.
But you've seen a lot of those late model guys that came from
Matt Ryan,
the
Chuck
go-kart.
Hanna,
Matt
all the
Ryan,
guys.
Chuck Hanna,
Right.
there you go.
Well, and plus you can see it's a family affair, and you get kids involved in racing. It's a family event. You can see just in your victory lane photo, the whole family's there, and that that kind of helps perpetuate the sport.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It's the go-kart racing is definitely a family sport. It's
Good.
So has he been trying to talk his way into your seat yet, or?
I don't know if he'd want my seat because modifieds are nothing in his eyes. He's a late model guy.
Oh,
you go.
my gosh.
Yeah,
There you go.
he loves the late models.
All
Get
right,
out of the
got
way,
expensive
Dad.
taste.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
There you
Get out of the
go.
way, Dad.
Yeah.
Hey, so Wookie, we got a picture of that modified. You picked up the feature win a couple of weeks ago over at Davenport Speedway. And I like getting right down there and doing the driver interviews. But when I seen your son coming over, that's a special moment.
That's awesome.
How did it feel? What were your feelings having your son out there with you in Victory Lane? You spent time with him at East Moline. Now here he was with you over at Davenport Speedway.
Yeah, that's that was definitely a special one because sometimes I think he thinks that Dad never wins because I haven't won as many races, the last few years since he would be able to remember them.
Sure.
He's been there for a couple, but he was pretty young, and then a lot of times he can't go because of school or whatever else. So I think sometimes he questions, does Dad really win races? And he happened to get there and it was pretty special when he come running over,
That is
in Victory
outstanding.
Lane.
No
So,
kidding, man. That was
and that's a
special
memory he'll
time.
never forget.
Yeah, I just had to step away. I thought, man,
Yeah.
get a picture of this. This is so cool.
Very nice.
So you talked about running the Stealth chassis back in the day, and then, for a while, everybody's running Shryoks. And I mean, they're selling so many Shryoks back in the day that you had to get on a waiting list, and you had to have a used one that you drove and kind of figured life out before they'd even sell a new one to you. For the fans out there that don't understand, what changes? I mean, you got a hot chassis for a while. What changes?
I don't know. I don't know why. It seems like it happens a lot, even in the late models, and
It does.
and all of it. You'll have a chassis on top, and then I think they redesign it, thinking that they have everything figured out, and we're going to make it that much better, and it kind of goes the other way.
Yeah.
That's the way it went for us with the Skyrocket.
And a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, man, he went from being on top, like you said, Chris Ogg, New Liberty, Iowa, ran a Skyrocket. A lot of people out there running them. Boy, the next thing you know, nobody's running them.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times these chassis manufacturers, they think they've got some new latest, greatest technology, and we're going to change this and that. I mean, we'll talk about a car that that's not built anymore. And it was those Moyer cars that came out of Des Moines.
Right.
And they were just trying to float everything. I mean, they were, floating the radiator in the car, floating the axe, floating everything. And the car flexed so much that there was no consistency to it whatsoever. And now they're out of business.
That's what they did with the Skyrockets too. They just started making them flex so much, and we just lost all feel.
Yeah.
We just couldn't get a feel on it. It just didn't matter what we did.
So, Matt, when you're flying out there and all of a sudden you're in the new Skyrocket, you think, man, we're really going to have the world by the butt today.
Yeah.
And, as a driver, how frustrating is it when you you're struggling with the car.
It was pretty frustrating. I mean, we were asking for a lot of help. We were doing everything we could to try and get them things figured out. And,
Sure.
And then you start questioning yourself as a driver too, you know, because you're struggling so bad. It's like, is it me or is it the car? Or, well, then you start seeing, you get on Racing Junk and there's pages of that chassis, and it's like, okay, maybe that makes sense.
Maybe it ain't
but it was truly a blessing in disguise because timing worked out. Humphrey was down there working for Stuckey, building them cars.
Man.
And I kept asking Mike, hey, build me a modified. And he says, the only way I'm going to do it is if it's on a Chevy stub. And I'm like, well, perfect, And
Right.
he came in town, and that was 2015. He came in town and spent 2 weeks and built this car, put sheet metal on it, everything. Took off, went back to Stuckey's, left us a car that wasn't even powder coated or nothing. We tore the whole thing back apart, and and then got everything painted and put back together, and that was a really good car. So it was really a blessing that we struggled in the Skyrockets because timing wise we got Mike to come back and build that modified.
Very nice.
It worked out really well.
So is that still the car that you're running today?
No.
What do you run?
We
what
still
brand
have
now?
that car. It's actually we have that car. That car is never going to go anywhere. It was
Special car.
It was a very special car.
Mike's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, my God.
He actually was in the process of building us another new one. He had got started on it. I don't know how far he got, but he was going to build that down in Louisiana.
Okay.
He actually had a few guys down there wanting him to build modifieds too, so I think he's going to jig it and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then that's when he passed away.
Yeah.
So we ran that for 3 years.
Okay.
And then Mike kind of turned me on to getting he pushed me to get a Mark Bush car before he built our modified for us.
Okay.
So then once Mike was gone, seemed like the right thing to do was give Mark Bush a call, and go that direction. And it was a little risky because he had no IMCA cars.
Oh boy.
He didn't build any IMCA cars, but I don't know. We like to be different, I guess. That's why we wanted the only modified that Mike built. The only Chevy stub modified that Mike built. It was. There was no jig or nothing. He just threw that thing together.
How about that?
And then we struggled in them. Again, we struggled in the Mark Bush cars. We just couldn't get them to go on the hard tires.
Okay.
So, but now we're in a rage. We got a rage in October from Andy Eckridge. And, I mean, that thing, it feels so much like that Mach 1. It's just, you make an adjustment, you can feel it.
Yeah. Spencer Dirks, look at him, man. He's
Yeah.
been on fire in that car. I mean,
Yeah, we really like it. The problem is with that, we're a little behind everyone. Everyone's had them for a few years,
Right.
So we're
But
still
you're
building.
fast.
We're still building our notebook.
yeah,
There you
that's
go.
okay.
Yeah.
Hey, we want to give away a couple of T-shirts in there. WDRL World Dirt Racing League T-shirts. They'll be here at the studio. If you win one, we're going to have Matt autograph it. So the first question we got, and you can post your answer right there on the message board, is career feature wins for Matt. We need a number.
Total feature victories.
Total feature victories for Matt. We're going back to the street stock days. Everything he ever won in. We need a number. Total feature wins.
And how are they going to enter, Shane?
Well, put it right there in the message board. Type it in. As soon as we have a winner, we'll let you know. And, Carl, good guess. Todd's got a good guess. All right. So,
Carl joining us there on YouTube. I like that.
you talked about running up there at, at East Moline, Davenport, and Tipton, and all the different tracks you run at. Do you like quarter-mile tracks or half-mile tracks better?
I struggle on half-mile tracks.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of experience in them.
Sure.
I do have one winner on a half-mile, and that was out at Knoxville, Illinois, at the
Right.
fair race.
Okay.
That was a UMP deal. But other than that, we just don't run them a lot.
Yeah.
A while ago, I was always had to be quarter-mile point and shoot, because I grew up going to East Moline.
Yeah.
Right.
And
That's
to me,
what it was.
that was the only racing there was,
That's right.
But now I like the momentum stuff. I like the 3/8. I like,
All the different tracks that are out there.
Yeah.
Just kind of in between. I know we used to go up to Boone, Iowa and race, and I always liked Boone. Boy, there was a lot of bite in that racetrack. And I always figured they put a lot of bite in that track. If there was anybody out there running traction control, and nobody runs traction control, that they wouldn't have an advantage because there was a lot of bite in the racetrack. So that was one of my favorite tracks. Yeah. We're looking at all the guesses on there. You guys are getting close, but
not quite there yet.
Not quite there yet. Keep on guessing. There we go. Yeah, Thad Wilson, you are right. Don Fulsher, Thad Wilson was one of the first guys to have one of those stealth cars and go real fast and win a lot of races right here in the Quad Cities. So we talk a lot about, Matt, a lot of the drivers we've had in here have had racing superstitions. Do you have any racing superstitions?
Yeah, I'm not a real superstitious guy.
Okay, all right, that's okay.
Although,
little higher, Mike.
Last week, or the Tuesday we won over there in Davenport.
Yeah.
I happened to go to Culver's and eat lunch. You know,
so you had to start eating
I hit the drive-through, you know.
Yeah.
And I ran into someone there, and they said, "Oh, you know, you win tonight, you're gonna have to start eating Culver's every time on race day," you know. So Friday I went back to Culver's and had Culver's for lunch again in the drive-through. Same.
Sure, it's getting hot.
Problem is, I went backwards.
Oh man, what happened?
So that's burned up.
You ordered the wrong food.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know it's crazy.
I love that.
You know, we've had a lot of drivers come in. They've talked about some of their superstitions, and I think, Pat, who are the most superstitious people out there?
Baseball players and racers.
There you go.
Yep,
that's the way it is.
That's right.
Ray Gus Jr.
Yeah, he was one of them
He's
too.
Very superstitious.
Carl, you're very close.
Joshua, you are close.
Joshua, you're very close.
All right, Joshua's got it. 58.
There you go. Ding, 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 ding.
Joshua, we're going to put your name down here, and we will have that on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
And if you swing by the studio here sometime during this week, we're at 1414 West Locust Street.
Right down the street from the racetrack.
Right down from the racetrack. And you can pick up your free T-shirt. And now I don't know. I think we've got 2X's over there, and we've got, large. And so you're going to get whatever's over there, and we'll have Matt autograph those. Second question, and we'll keep on talking. What year was Matt's first victory?
Very first victory.
So, Matt, as we continue to talk, do you have any other hobbies besides dirt track racing?
Is there time for that?
Yeah, I mean, there isn't any time.
I don't know.
My brother and I, we used to race around the clock. And we'd go home, back the trailers in the garage, and just load the trucks up with, fishing poles and the tackle box. We go fishing.
Nice.
And we're sleepy. We know we got a full day tomorrow, but we go fishing.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of fishing before I started racing.
All right.
Now I'd say, camping. I like to go camping. If we got a weekend off from racing, I like to load the wife and the boy up. And
Bob Danielson, you are the winner, 2005.
Look at that. He's like a sniper.
Yeah. We are going to put you down for one of those T-shirts, Bob.
Very nice.
And you can pick it up right down here at Dunright Studio, 1414 West Locust Street, right next to Dittmer's gas station, but right down the road from the racetrack. Final question we're going to ask to give away this certain final T-shirt. What is Matt's favorite racetrack? So tell us something nobody knows about you, Matt.
Oh, boy.
You got something? And we've had drivers come in and say, oh, I played hockey in high school, or I played baseball or wrestled.
Yeah, something most people probably don't know about me because, it's I used to play the drums for a lot of years.
Really?
I started to.
How'd you get into drums?
I don't know. My mom brought me a drum set home, and
I
started beating on the thing. I don't know. I must have been 6, 7 years old, and I played, clear up to high school.
Did your mom buy the drum set?
Yeah.
She probably regretted that at some point.
I'm willing to bet so.
So she has a halo, is what you're saying.
Yeah. So she drug me over to lessons once a week, for 9, 10 years straight.
Oh, man.
Wow.
That is real cool.
I guarantee I couldn't do it now.
Yeah.
I think any mom that buys her son a drum kit they have a special place in heaven next to racing moms.
Yeah.
Still no correct answer up there for the favorite race.
My mom got teased relentlessly at Knoxville.
Donovan Werner, you got it.
Hey, look at that.
Tipton.
My mom got teased relentlessly about how many miles she walked per night at Knoxville back and forth across the pit area when we were racing. So,
yeah, I had my my son bought a drum set for my little granddaughter.
Yeah.
And they've got it at our house. And so I got to listen to little Isabella banging on those drums, and I thought, oh, my God. These things are just going to disappear one of these days.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to buy her something else.
Yeah, the sticks broke.
Yeah.
I'll buy her a swimming pool or something.
How'd that happen?
Yeah.
So, Matt, yeah, Donovan got that right. Tipton. Tipton's your favorite track. Tell us about that. Why Tipton?
I don't know. It's I just something about it. I like the slick surface. You wouldn't know it from my performance on Friday, but
Dr. Al always gives you a smooth track.
So
it's just smooth.
Yeah, we used to drive past Davenport from Kelowna area to drive to Tipton and race every week. I just I like it's just a lot of finesse. You just really got to tiptoe around the place and be patient, and that's what I like.
It just
to
kind
do.
of fit your driving style.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's a little tougher, but I enjoy it. So.
Well, they're going to have that Fall Bash, Dark Side Fall Bash coming up this year. And, man, that's always a real popular event.
It is. We have a
lot
good
of
time
drivers
there.
out there.
We have a good time.
You going to have that on your schedule this year?
Oh,
man?
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
Without a doubt.
Yeah,
all right.
That's very
definitely.
cool.
So we talked about quarter mile or half mile. Tell me what your best moment in racing has been so far.
Oh, best moment in racing. I'm not a big points guy.
Yeah.
It sometimes turns into that just because you run the same tracks weekly,
Right.
But I don't like to get too involved in it. But probably 2015, we were in a real tight points battle with Greg Durbin.
Okay.
And I think we went into the night a couple points down, actually. And again, obviously you're getting down to the end of the season, you're
Right.
looking at points,
Yeah.
if you're right there. And that phone call to Mike Humphrey after the race, tell him that we won the points in this car that he came back and threw together.
Oh, my gosh.
Was pretty special. That used to be always my favorite phone calls, good or bad. Calling Mike and telling him how the night went. He was pretty stoked. He gets pretty excited for people. So.
And Mike always, he had a way of lifting your spirit and, helping you tune the car up to get you out front. And, I mean, any of the cars that he touched, were rockets. And he had a special talent, and, he was called home way too soon. Yeah. Hey, Jeff Hollowell wants to know, whatever happened to that old late model?
The whole late model. I don't know if he's talking about the late model I actually had in my garage and never pulled out, or
yes.
Or
So you never did put it together. Yeah, we kind of skipped over that.
Yep. No, like I said, this thing came together with the Meyer family, and I got hooked on modifieds. I'd already had one, and I enjoyed it. Truthfully, I guess the reason I was going to go to late model was just better payback.
Sure.
That's the truth of it. On a low budget, I was looking at how much money you can get back.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not that I'm a big late model guy, but so we just what did I do with that thing? Honestly, I don't remember. I obviously sold it, but I don't remember where it went to or anything.
Sure.
So I never got real far on it,
Yeah.
But
all right. Hey, the other question I'd have is, you told us about your best moment in racing. What was your worst moment in racing?
ooh, one.
Yeah, no, come on.
If you got a couple, we have time.
Oh man.
Often they're the most interesting.
Worst moment in racing.
Right.
Well, that's a tough one to pick one.
Hey, yours might have been at the Knoxville National rolling that sprinter when you and our old buddy Doug Wolfgang got together in the B main.
Best and the worst right there
Yeah, it
together.
was.
Yeah.
That's your Call to Fame.
Yep, I have another one of my worst is on the front straightaway at Knoxville.
Oh, man.
Got into an altercation with one of the outlaw drivers.
Oh,
Not going
okay.
to name names, but yeah.
That happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only, I've never flipped or anything. The closest I ever got was up at East Moline. There was a big pile up, and I came in, got stuck right in the middle of it and laying on my side, strapped in the car, and it was a little sketchy because I'm sitting there watching fuel pour out of the carburetor, onto the header.
That is scary.
Panic a little bit,
Right.
But I didn't panic too bad because I didn't get out of the car. They set me down carefully, and I fired it back up and finished the race. But
Did you really?
No way.
And,
Wow.
now
now
that's a cool
an Iron
story.
Man right there. That's right.
Iron Man.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
all
what
the,
True Grit's all about.
all the pit guys turned around. They were walking back to the pits, figuring I was going to get towed back, and I never showed up and stayed out there and finished the race.
Like, what
How
the heck?
about that?
Where's Matt?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, don't mess with that Matt guy.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, right.
Roll it over.
Oh, man.
Fire it up.
Hey, Matt, you raced UMP and you raced IMCA modified. What do you like? And what do you like about IMCA versus UMP or vice versa?
I guess the IMCA. I mean, it's closer to home.
Sure.
I do actually. I like the crate deal. I think that's, it's. I think it's been big for modifieds. There's just it's really cut back on the engine maintenance and how much work it is.
Yeah.
And, it's that part of it's pretty easy, but man, nothing beats a high horsepower.
Oh, no kidding.
Aluminum headed engine.
Oh, man,
so,
they just sound sweet.
I wish we lived closer to UMP country because we would be there.
Yeah.
Very cool.
We would be there. We've still got our UMP engines and stuff.
Oh,
so,
you do?
Yeah. So I would definitely do it in a heartbeat. I don't like the time trialing and stuff of it.
Sure.
I guess partially because I'm also a race fan.
Yeah.
And I don't like seeing the fast guy start up front. But also in IMCA, I don't like to be the guy
that's starting 12th.
that's starting 12th.
Yeah.
Right.
So it goes both ways.
Yeah. Especially when the other fast guy happens to start in the pole, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Look at that. Todd Malmstrom said the only cars he had were Mach 1s built by Mike Humphrey, and he had 2 new cars from him. Wow. And then look at Joe says, wrecking the street stock at Davenport 2010, last points night. So that must have been a bad night.
Yeah, was that the last points night that happened?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That sounds like bad news there.
Yeah.
One thing you talk about, like Nick Hoffman, here he is, he won, 12 in a row, whatever it was. But I can tell you from a fan's perspective, he's hot time every night. He's sitting on the pole. It's a hell of a lot easier to win from the pole.
Right.
And I get that I've started on the pole before in open shows, and you got to maintain that pole. You got the big dogs all over you. But starting 12th, inverting the top 12, top 10, whatever, they're doing these days. I think it's top 12. It's a hell of a lot better for the fans watching that guy start 12 and have to work his way through the field. Because, you can be, the hottest thing on dirt track, but starting 12th, man, you got some. Today, I look at those cars, and what's changed is, when I was driving, there was probably, I'm going to say 5, 6, 7 guys that were real fast. Bob Pierce had an open wheel modified, and it was sponsored by A1 Heating and Air Conditioning. And he was, real fast on the national tour. And there were guys like that. But today it seems like, when I looked at, we had 32 modifieds at Davenport last Friday night. I want to say probably 25 of them, they were fast.
Yeah.
They almost could have won the feature.
Yeah.
Well, and the fact that we had 32 of them is impressive right there.
Right.
And that's incredible.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot tougher, as a driver to start 10th or 12th or whatever
Sure.
it is. So I think it's tougher to get consecutive wins that way because things really got to fall your way.
Right.
And
you don't see those guys running the IMCA mods. I'm not seeing the guys getting 20, 25 wins a season.
unless you're Bone Larson.
Right, unless you're Bone Larson, and he's special. And, there's a few of them out there. My God.
Right. There's not very many of them that get
It just ain't
a
happening
lot
today.
of feature wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard. Hey, one of the things we always like to ask, the car number. Where did your car number come from? What's the story behind the number?
That's actually Donovan Werner that just won. That's my nephew.
Okay.
And when I started racing, he was my only niece or nephew he's at the time.
Yeah.
And his birthday September 3rd.
Okay.
So,
Hey,
How about that?
So
how about that?
Very
That's
cool.
where that came from.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Now, Pat, when you guys were running sprint cars, the mowers,
Yeah.
didn't you have like number 1, 2, and 3?
And it's funny how often, and that's one of the reasons that we like to ask that, is because there's almost always a story there. It's either a family number or the number comes from somewhere.
Yeah.
Actually, growing up, my family always ran car numbers in the 90s, and there was a story behind it. But and then in the 80s, we actually got away from that because we kind of thought it was bad luck, and so we started in the. My dad actually kind of broke the mold and jumped out of the 90s and renumbered his car 2X. And Shane, I know on social media you've shared this a couple of times. He actually had a cousin who was a cousin technically of his dad that ran sprint cars right after World War II that was number X2.
Yeah.
And so he actually renumbered the car, rebranded our cars 2X in memory of him.
Oh, how nice!
And
is
then
that?
then the sister car was number 1 or number 3, and that's always been our family car. And I actually ran the number 1 for a long time.
Sure.
And then now back in the family 2X car. So that's actually where it came
All
from.
right. Hey, what do we got? Joe says we get Frank's dinner after every win, so they're probably really on you when you got a dry spell there, man.
Yeah. We go pick off a win, and it's always winner chicken dinner. And we like to go down to Frank's Pizza. And,
Nice.
And, we'll
Love
take
it.
the big group of us and go down there and drink
What a way
Busch
to
Lights and eat
celebrate.
chicken. So
I got to tell you, I'm
Two of my
62
favorite
years old,
things.
but I remember as a kid, they're running figure eights up at East Moline Speedway, and back then Skip Chick was a promoter, and he would give away free Frank's Pizza to the first rollover of the night. Now, I don't know what my dad did to this old 53 Chevy he ran, but that thing had more dents than a roof, and the cart ran through a hailstorm because he'd go out in his heat race and dump it over. And then, we had our free pizza, and then he'd go back down to pits. I don't know if he took the shocks off of it or what he did, but he'd run like a bear in the feature. But boy, in the heat race, he was going over on his lid.
Yeah. That's
But man,
awesome.
we
Love
ate
that
a lot of
story.
Frank's Pizza. So that tradition, it's been around for a lot of years. And then, they have great food down there. The Stromboli sandwich, the pizza, anything that got down there, Frank's.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
and Ron's yelling at me because we haven't got our chicken dinner since our
Hey.
win last Tuesday.
all
so
right,
you gotta
something's
step
up here.
Maybe
he's wondering where it's at.
that's what happened Friday.
Yeah.
That's probably it.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right. You don't
boy.
mess with stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I sound superstitious, don't I?
Yeah, Pat,
Yeah.
you know how it is, man. We all had them. We were talking to Gary Webb. He was talking about how he taped over his odometer on his pickup truck because when he pulled in the racetrack, if it was on an even number, he thought he was going to have a bad night, and an odd number would be a good night.
Yeah.
And it got in his head. So he's, man, I'm putting tape over it. I don't even want to see the number. But, I remember, in 1987, I won 36 features, and we were just on fire. We couldn't do anything wrong. But I'll tell you one thing. The T-shirt and the underwear I wore underneath my fire suit. We won opening night at East Moline. I thought, okay, can't take it off. That was on a Sunday night. We went to National Tuesday in Princeton, Illinois. And I passed Bob Pierce on a white flag when we won the feature. And I said, now I can't take it off.
That's right.
And my wife's like, hey, can we wash them things? Or I said, no, you can't wash them because it's going to change.
Yep.
It'll take all the magic out of it.
That's right. I had a favorite uniform that I always wore. It was my lucky uniform, kind of the same thing. And so when we got sponsors and stuff like that, that was hard to change because especially coming into something like the Nationals where you need so much luck that this is a brand new like the guys a lot of times are wearing white uniforms and it's like that's a terrible luck.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It's just in here.
Yeah,
But
just in your head.
be that as it
So
may.
that being said, man, have you ever won or raced at the Boone Super Nationals?
I have not.
And that's something you gotta do
Definitely,
sometime.
it's definitely on my bucket list.
Now you got a crate motor.
Yeah.
Man, you're fast.
Every year we talk about, oh man,
Yeah.
we got to do that, and we just don't ever end up going to do it. I think we always, it's hard for some of the help, the guys back in the shop to be able to get the week off. So we're always like, well, we can go run, 3 2-day specials,
Sure.
with the and have the same amount of nights is what it's gonna, we're gonna go do there and spend
Sure.
all week. It's
And really, you talk about luck. You got to have luck up there, man. When you have, back in the day, they used to have 400 modifieds. Now they get about 300 of the IMCA modified. Sport mods are getting about 200. But you're talking about 800 cars there that you're going to see race that week. And so the racing's phenomenal. And, it usually starts at, 3 in the afternoon. And we'll start hot lapping at noon, then 3 in the afternoon they're racing. And I mean, there's going to be nights you're there till midnight, 1 in the morning.
Right.
And it's just a great time. And we used to take our motorhome every year, and we just park at, we had reserve spots probably about 2 rows back from the grandstands. But my God, it's something you got to do once. Yeah. Just do it once. That's all.
And
I hope
you know,
to.
when you put those numbers into perspective, if you think about it, you can have a phenomenal week.
Yeah.
And you know what it's like being in the back of a field and you see, 20 cars ahead of you, and you're like, good Lord. But can you imagine that you have a pretty decent week and you're 50th in points, and you're a ways up there. But if you line those cars out, you would be like, holy cow, there is no way I'm getting, I'm 50th.
Now
That's what
there.
makes that so impressive.
Mike's saying, Shane, you go into Boone with us to draw.
Yeah,
Here's the funny thing about drawing. Now, Spencer Dirks was rolling in the gate. This has probably been about 3-4 weeks ago, and he says, Shane, you draw for me. In fact, it was up West Liberty. We're running the show.
Right.
I pull a number 2 out for him.
Yeah.
So we end up, we were at Liberty again. This has been a few weeks ago, probably 3 weeks ago. And I had a guy come through the gate. He said, man, I seen you draw for Spence. Pull a number out. There's 50 in the hat. I drew 23. I said, man, I feel terrible. And he said, you know what? That's better than me. I usually get 50. Yeah. But I got to tell you, back in 1987, I'm going to say it was, Kenny Schrader's driving the Junie Dunlobby car, the number 90 Red Baron pizza car. And so he's also got a late model they put together for him. And it's Red Baron Pizza 50 night over at Davenport Speedway. So they fly Kenny Schrader in on this biplane, and they land on the half-mile track on a backstretch. He gets out, jumps in this car to race it, and I had a fuel pump problem on my car. So I'm down there dinking with the fuel pump. They keep calling me, you got to come out and draw, last chance, come out and draw. Well, finally, I got the fuel pump situation figured out, fired it up, fuel pressure's great. I go up there, they said, every number is gone, but there's only one number left in the bag. They reached in, pulled it out, number 1.
Oh, no way.
I said, oh, my God. I said, you know what?
Wow.
I'm going to have fuel pump trouble every week
There you
now
go.
because
There you go.
I want to get the last number. But
I would like to see my average pill draw.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
what is it, man?
It's awful.
You do terrible?
Oh,
then here you got to change something.
It's absolutely terrible.
Now, I'm not kidding you. When I was drawing, and Pat will talk about this too.
That's right.
Hey, if you always draw bad with your right hand, go to your left hand. You got to change hands. Be conscious of what you're doing. If you always dig deep in the bag and you get a bad number, take it off the top.
Well, I try and change it up, and I wouldn't pull out the first chip I grab. You got to drop that one back.
Okay,
out
there you
and grab
go.
a second
That was
one.
probably the one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it's we'll draw a bag going in the gate, and and oh man, we got to race our way into this, and
Yep.
into the redraw.
Okay.
And we'll get a redraw, and then I still draw 11 or 12.
Ah, man.
I actually had up at Knoxville one time, the pill draw lady tell me, oh, I didn't realize we had a number that high in there one night when I drew. I said, Lord, and we always qualify at Knoxville. I said, if I draw a number any higher than that, I qualify tomorrow. Crying out loud. Time trial tomorrow night. No, but Matt, we had talked about kind of a bucket list, with Boone. If you had a genie lamp and you got to rub it and poof, you had a wish where you got to, no matter what class, you got to run, no matter what budget, you got to run wherever you wanted in any class, any event, what would it be?
Well, I don't know. I think I really like the, if I could take an open late model of the Prairie Dirt Classic and
Oh, man.
beat
Wouldn't
her
that
on
be
that
nice?
place, that would be
Nice.
Oh, my gosh.
that would be pretty awesome. I think that would be a lot of fun.
That would be.
Yeah, that would probably be. Well, with what team? I don't know.
Yeah.
Give me a good equipment.
PDC, nice.
The thing is, Matt, you're a smooth guy. So you're a Bob Pierce-esque type driver. You're smooth. So I think you'd be a good fit in a late model.
Yeah.
You're not out there, run the wheels off of them and bring it home with no fenders or doors on it. I mean, we talk about the Prairie Dirt Track Classic. I mean, Bobby Pierce's car after that race.
Yeah.
No right rear quarter panel.
No quarter panel.
Part of the door.
There and Macon.
Yeah. And
It's like, you don't need that
Did you
anyway.
see the late models at the north-south? They didn't have any deck left on them. The roofs were caved in. They were beating the wall so hard. It was.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Boy's getting a little punchy there.
Yeah. Matt, the clock's winding down, so
An hour flies by.
we're going to wrap things up here. You got any messages that you want to give to the fans out there? In closing.
Sponsors
Any
that you
words
want to
of
make sure.
wisdom?
Yeah, no, I
sponsors?
just I got to thank again the Meyer family, Casey, Kyle, Linda. They've been great. Giving me good stuff and
Good.
Great sponsors. It's all the guys. I got some really good help at the shop, Ron and Joe and Turtle, and it's a lot of fun. We're having fun this year. So
Great news. And I guess the closing words for me would be Done Right TV sponsors this. We're in the Done Right studio right now. I'll tell you a big thing that's changing in their world. A couple of things. MetroNet is now in Rock Island, Illinois.
How about
So they
that?
started out selling MetroNet on the Iowa side of the river, and now it's happening in Illinois too. So, hey, give us a call over here, 563-355-7490. You can go to our website, www.donerighttv.com.
I have MetroNet fiber at home.
Yeah, and that thing, the other thing I'd say is we've had a lot of people that have been buying outdoor antennas. They've got a 100-mile range on them. You cut the cable bill. I mean, you're just watching the 36 channels you get for free, which, Pat, when you and I were growing up, I got 3, 4, 6, and 8. That
Right.
was
And
it.
then when we got a 4th, man, we thought we were living high on the hog.
Yeah, and you had to, put tinfoil on the rabbit ears and move in the right direction. And Pat, stand right there till the game's over. And
That's right.
But
That's
no,
right.
it's $250 if you want one of those antennas installed on your house, hooked up to 2 TVs. And I can tell you there are 2 people over in Rock Island that I talked to that had them installed. They were in and out, ran the cable where you won't see it, hooked them up. And I sat down with one of them and I watched TV before the crew left. And there was a basketball game on. It was in the playoffs.
Right.
And boy, that picture was just beautiful. So, yeah, you pay $250, but the rest of the year, you got no bill.
And the picture quality, like you said, is absolutely amazing.
It really is.
Absolutely amazing.
So give them a call at Done Right TV one more time. That's going to be 563-355-7490 right over here in Davenport, Iowa on Locust Street. Pat?
One more point and shout out on social media. Please make sure that you like and share. It helps us out a ton, whether you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, Spotify. If you're on YouTube, you can click the subscribe button. That helps us as well. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. The more the merrier. Get more people involved and help perpetuate racing and help our area racing continue to grow.
All right. Well, hey, with that being said, Friday night we're going to have season championship at Davenport Speedway. Come on out, bring the family, support your local dirt track. Saturday night we'll be up in Macokota, Iowa at the Brett Montgomery Memorial. And we're going to have those Hoker Trucking East late models out there, so it should be a great show. Then in 2 weeks we're going to wrap up. We're going to have that 3-day World Outlaws show over at Davenport Speedway, and it's going to be best of the best of the best. Man, we got live bands all 3 nights. We're going to have all the fair vendors set up outside. We're going to be selling fair food out there. We're going to have a car show, a bags tournament. Just a lot. Jeff Hoker told me he's got a guy coming in, a chef that's going to be grilling for his 7 cars that are going to be there running that race.
Wow.
Man.
Wow. We'll try to get some time with some of the big boy late model guys too.
All right.
See
Well,
if we
hey,
can.
God bless all you great race fans. Thanks for checking us out. Matt, thanks for being on the show tonight.
thanks for having me.
And, yeah,
Yep. It's been a pleasure, Matt.
Shane talking for Pat, and I will be seeing you around the racetrack. Good night.